Good morning, everybody. I want to do a book review again. This is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College, and I have a book on my bookshelf which has never been far from my hand for a very long time. It doesn't look very inspiring, just a basic book, no cover to it. It's called Handbook of Revivals, and it's by a man called M.C. Fish, Doctor of Divinity. This is a book that I've had for a very long time. In fact, when I go to the front, I find that I've got, it must have been at least 25 years or so since I've had this book. It's in perfect condition. I don't know whether anybody's ever going to be able to obtain a copy of this, but it is absolutely fantastic. The Handbook of Revivals for the Use of Winners of Souls by Henry C. Fish. And what I notice about this book when I do turn to it, I've lent it to a few people, and thankfully those people have lent it back to me, brought it back to me. What I notice is that when I go through this book, that I've done such a lot of underlining. You can see the sort of underlining that I've done. And that's because this book has been such an amazing blessing. It talks about what is revival. It talks about how can revival be promoted. It talks about the revivalist and how the revivalist can grow and develop as a servant of the Lord. It also talks about revival in its historical setting, all the different types of revival that have occurred down the centuries. It's one of those books that I've turned to again and again and again. And I've experienced revival in small ways during my lifetime, and they are actually the real spiritual life of the church. When God the Holy Spirit moves in the lives of believers and gets them to pray and to preach in a way that really is effective, that is what revival is. And the result of that is extraordinary times of spiritual blessing, times of awakening in the church, and also times of extraordinary evangelism in the world. So there we are, the Handbook of Revivals. I'm thinking of setting out to read through the whole thing again. These books, they don't just change your life, but they change your life on a permanent basis. You never really are the same person again, and you learn so much. This is probably the life work of this dear man of God, and it's just a little book, isn't it, that can be read probably in 2 or 3 days. But what an amazing book it is, something that's tremendously important for those who are preachers of the gospel, for those that are evangelistic people. It's important to understand the lessons that these people have learned. So there you are. I look forward to speaking to you on the next occasion, and wish you every blessing. Bye for now.